Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's video is basically going to be a budget case. It's from Deepcool called the E-Shield. Biggest thing about this, I was in the stores looking for a different case. Wasn't really looking for a budget case, but this thing, in my opinion, without even having taken it out of the box, I think it's amazing. It's got tempered glass. It's got I think it's like an inch and a half or 2 inches for cable management in the back. If you want to have a DVD drive, it's got that. I know some more expensive cases that don't have that. So stay tuned. We're going to have a look at it, get it out of the box, and see what you think. See if it's a hit. And maybe after you get it out of the box, I won't like it myself. Here we go. Let's find out. Okay, so here's our first look at the Deepcool E-Shield. So let's get it out of the box. So I've already opened it here. And first thing I like to do is just have a look at how well it's packaged. So it's pretty good actually. I'm just going to lay it down on this side. So there you can see what the packaging looks like. It's got styrofoam on both sides and perforated on the top, or maybe that's the front. Anyway, we'll get it out. So I'm going to stand it up. We'll have a look at it. Okay, so getting out of the box, we got our first look. So this is plastic on the front. It's perforated for airflow. You got room for a DVD drive, or if you don't choose to use that, then you can just leave it. Now remember, this is a budget case. This is tempered glass on it. So can't go wrong with that. Of course, it fastens on here, 4 screws. And let's move on to the back and give you a better look on that. We'll open it up. We'll give you a better look on the inside afterward. One of the first things you can notice there, though, is there's no rubber grommets. But you know what? I find a lot of times I don't need that anyway. Okay, moving on to the back. For our I/O shield, you have one included fan, 120 millimeter, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 PCI slots. And this bracket comes off, so you can put them in and out. And now they are break off, so you have to twist them a little bit and break them off. And of course, room for your power supply. Other side of it, okay, nothing fancy, but it does look pretty good. It doesn't mark up. The fingerprints don't stay to it, so that's kind of nice. So let's move on to the top real quick. And on the top, first thing you'll notice, right, is you have this little plastic. I'm going to set it down. So first thing you can notice is you have a little filter on the top. It's mesh, and of course it does come off. Okay, so you can take that right off, and it has room for some more fans or a radiator. We'll get into all that radiator, coolers, fans, all that kind of stuff in a minute. So you move on to the front. You have your power, reset, USB 3.0, and two 2.0s, and of course your mic and your headphones. All right, but keep in mind this is a budget case. This costs like $50, and super impressed with it so far. So taking out your screws, you've got one left one here. Comes out pretty easy, no problems. You tend to hold it on the bottom down here just to make sure nothing goes anywhere it's not supposed to. But you don't have to. Like, I do recommend it, but it will kind of set there a little bit, but it's just pull it off. And now we can have a look on the inside. So getting onto the inside, you got room for 2 3.5-inch hard drives. You could also fit in 2 2.5-inch SSDs if you wish. And it's got a couple other spots for them as well. You've got one fan, and nice as it is, it's got a 3-pin for your fan, which is not uncommon, especially in a budget case. You've got a 120 millimeter fan in the back, and you don't have any additional fans. So it does have room for putting in a radiator. It's left the space here for you. And your little bag of goodies is sitting right here. And that's going to be all your standoffs and screws and all that kind of good stuff. And it's got a little pamphlet here, if you will, that you can take out, and it tells you more about the case. So this is, like I said, the Deepcool E-Shield series. So what's nice about this pamphlet is it gives you everything you need to know. You can fit a 120 or 140 times 2. Okay, A, B, and C. So A is, of course, the top, and B is the front. And you can see the size of the radiators, 120, 140, or 240 on the top, 120, 120, 140, 240, and 280 on the front. And on the back, the 120, which is already there. So if you wanted to replace the one that's on back with a different fan, if you wish, something like Be Quiet or something like that, you certainly are able to do that. One thing that made me make a decision on this case was the fact that you have a lot of room in the back. I'm going to get this off in a second and show you, but cable management is something that's always an issue. People have a hard time putting the back of the case on because they just don't provide enough room. This does. It provides lots of room. It's already got your standoffs in here. It's only got 4, actually 5. And of course, it has more standoffs in there so you can put them all in. The hard drive cage, just looking to see if it's removable. I'll have a look on the bottom because it doesn't look like it is right now. I'm finding, especially in budget cases and other cases as well nowadays, is that they rivet them on, so you can't always move them, which is, I don't like it if they do that, but maybe they just do that because they want to make sure you maintain that space for your radiator and room for your power supply without causing any kind of further issues for you. We'll have a look at the cables in the back. You got the cutouts. You've got one up on the top left. Okay, the one that's up on the top left up here, of course, is for your 8-pin power. And the thing you always want to look for is make sure these are underneath of these cutouts. Because if it goes over top, then they're actually not going to help you a whole lot. So you'll have to put in, depending on if it's an ATX, micro ATX, whatever it is. We'll have a look and see what the dimensions are for what it fits in a minute. So right now, you've just got all kinds of different places to feed your cables through. And let's continue from there. So one of the really interesting parts about this, so I'm going to talk about this now actually. You can put anywhere from a mini ATX, micro ATX, ATX, and even an extended ATX. You do have to remove the CD-ROM drive in here, but the fact that this budget case for 50 bucks and put an extended ATX motherboard in there, that's pretty impressive. Now I think I mentioned there were 6 expansion slots in the back. There's actually 7. The other one is just black and it's just going across. Let me just show you that real quick. This one actually comes out as well, so that gives you an extra one. And of course, you can get this also available in white. One of the other unique features I just want to mention is room for your graphics card. You have room for up to 370 millimeter long graphics card. So just keep that in mind. It's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to move around to the back. I can get that back off and show you what I'm talking about for cables and stuff. And of course, you just have 2 screws here. These simply should come off unless they're on there really tight, which, yep, they are. So we'll just pause and get that off. Okay, so just loosen them a little bit. And they're non-adaptive, so they come right out, which I kind of got used to the adaptive, but it doesn't matter either way. It still works. You just pull it off in the back here. It comes off real easy. And the panels are solid. Nice solid steel panels. Okay, so one of the reasons I got this is not a lot of cables and stuff. And the room in the back, you have 25 millimeters or 1 inch. And you're going to have, you can see how these cables are just sitting there. And that came off so easy. So the only thing you're going to add to that is a power supply. You got a couple extra twist tiles on here just to take off. So let's get those off and we'll have a better look. So as is typical in most of these cases, your cables, you have your USB, you have your HD LED, your powers, your HD audio, reset, and your PLED, positive and negative, and of course your USB 3.0, which is pretty much all you really want on a case most of the time. I mean, unless it's a more advanced case, in which case you're going to have like USB 3.0, maybe some Type C connectors, all that kind of good stuff. And lots of tie downs, okay? Lots of places to tie your cables down and nice it up when you're all done. So a couple of last things. You have a little filter here. It just pops out from these little things that hold it in place. So that'll come off. It's kind of I like the ones that slide out better. Again, it's a budget case, so that's not a big deal. You've got 4 feet, of course, it sets it off. I'd say pretty close to about 1 inch off the ground. And to take your cover off, you got this little slot. So you're going to pull on this and your cover's going to come off. So let's have a quick look at that. So getting the front of your case off is not that difficult. Just put your hand underneath here and you're just going to pull it off. Now, here is the downside. So I'm going to turn this around to show you. This is the one thing I don't like about cases, when they attach these to the front panel. Because if you decide to take these off and put your fans in, what can happen is that these cables here, if you could damage them or anything like that, now your case is no more. Now, yes, that doesn't happen too often, and most people might not even take off the front of their case. But it's just my pet peeve. I don't like it when they do that way. But other than that, front panel comes off so you can get it to put the fans on. It's just overall a pretty darn good case. And of course, once it's off, you can see how all your holes are here for putting in your fans. And that'll go on pretty good because you're going to have a radiator, if you're going to put a radiator on. In the front, fans are going to go here, and you're good to go. All right, everybody. So if you like that video, hit that like. If you don't, you know what to do. Hit that bell for future notifications. And think about subscribing if you're new here. So overall, I recommend this case because, I mean, it's a $50 case, guys. If you want to build a system in this, you're going to be able to put any motherboard you want. You got room for radiators, fans. It'll accommodate pretty much everything. I have had $150 cases that weren't as good. Yeah, they might have had a mesh front on the front. But you know what? The mesh and the plastic, not that much difference in airflow. And yeah, I don't like the cables in the front, stuff like that. But if you were asking me, would I buy this again? Yes, I would, in a heartbeat. I think it's good. I wish they had included maybe a fan in the front. But they probably take into consideration that you might add your own fans or you're going to add a radiator. So you don't really need it. My dog's clawing at the door, in case you heard that. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.